All right, welcome back to WMAC Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with some RIZIN fight announcements. So, RIZIN, the big stage promotion in Japan, has announced their next event, RIZIN 43. It's going to go down June 24th in Sapporo, on the northernmost big island, Hokkaido, of Japan. It's the first time, I believe, a major MMA promotion will ever be in Sapporo, and from what I understand of the city, from what I've been told by someone who lived there once, better go there in June, otherwise you'll be freezing. It's just a very cold place, is what he told me. We have two ladies bouts, a bantamweight bout and a strawweight bout, so let's get into it. First up is going to be a bantamweight bout. Marina Kumagai taking on Aoi Kuriyama. This is a bit of an oddball bout, but I will explain why this is appearing on here. So let's go ahead and get into the stats here. So Kumagai coming in at 3-4, Kuriyama coming in at 4-5-1. So both ladies have upside down records. Now Kumagai is riding a 3-fight winning streak. She most recently fought 5 months ago in Deep Jewels, taking a decision win over Chieko Hosoya. Kuriyama is coming in off of a loss to Rin Nakai via rear naked choke 2.5 months ago. No shame in losing to someone as experienced as Rin Nakai. Kuriyama will be the younger fighter, 28-35 for Kumagai. Kumagai will be the taller fighter at 5'9", 174 centimeters to 5'6", 168 centimeters for Aoi Kuriyama. So like I was saying, this is a bit of an oddball fight, because I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute, I know both of those ladies currently have upside down records. Why are they on RIZIN? So if you need to rewind, go back to the stats, and you'll see that Kumagai's fighting out of Sapporo. So they brought her on as a hometown fighter. And plus she's on a 3-fight win streak, so that helps out too. Yeah, it's an odd one. Kumagai mostly comes from like a kickboxing, Muay Thai background. Kuriyama comes out of that smoker gym in Osaka, I believe it's from. Very popular gym. They always, anytime smoker has more than one fighter on a card, they bring like their own cheering section with them, which is nice to see. But for Kumagai, she'll be fighting in her home territory, I believe, for the first time ever. So yeah, that's why this one's on there. Neither fighter is particularly good. Like I said, Kumagai is a striker. Kuriyama, more of an all-rounder. I mean, I couldn't tell you what exactly it is she excels in, but she shows up and she puts in honest work. And she's not a boring fighter by any means either. So that's why they have a bantamweight bout, which is very, very rare for RIZIN, but they got to have a hometown fighter on, right? This next bout also is a bit of an oddball, but at least one of the fighters should be familiar to RIZIN fans. We have a strawweight bout, Saori Oshima taking on Salt, whose name is Haruka Hasegawa. Oshima has fought in RIZIN, I believe, 3 times now, possibly 4. She is currently the deep microweight and deep jewels atomweight champion. Salt, on the other hand, just won the Pancrase strawweight championship, or she is the strawweight queen of Pancrase, as they would call her. Looking at the stats here, Oshima coming in at 11-3, Salt coming in at 3-2. Oshima's riding a nice 4-fight winning streak here. Most recently defeated Ye-Rin Hong 3 months ago at Black Combat via armbar submission. Her first time fighting outside of Japan, went to South Korea for that one. Salt coming in off of 2 straight wins, both of them over Karen, the now former strawweight queen of Pancrase. First bout was non-title, second bout was for the title, and Salt beat Karen in both of them. And the second bout was just 2 weeks ago from the time of this recording. Oshima is the younger fighter at 28-32. Whoo, look at this height difference. 5 feet 6 inches, 167 centimeters stands Salt, compared to 4 feet 11 inches, 149 centimeters for Oshima. Wow, that's a difference right there. 7-inch difference. Okay, so what makes this one a bit of an oddball fight? Well, for one thing, Oshima has no business fighting at strawweight. For another thing, why did they pick up Salt, the strawweight queen of pancrase, when they never brought in Karen, the previous pancrase champ? Because of those two, Karen is practically made for RIZIN. I mean, the whole, former team, team date member, currently Pravajra, the whole weird, everything that surrounds that fighter and her teammates is made for RIZIN. So I don't understand why they never brought in Karen. But then I go back and I look at the stats and I see Salt is another Hokkaido girl. Fights out of Mars Gym, which is in Sapporo. So, yeah, she's another hometown fighter. I'm not a huge fan of this matchup, simply because of the size difference. Oshima has no business fighting at strawweight. And, her and Karen are of a similar height. I mean, Karen's a little bit taller, I believe, now. And Karen, the striker, had a hard time getting inside to strike with Salt. And Oshima is not nearly the striker that Karen is. And that's going to make it even harder for her to get inside to work her grappling, because Oshima wants to get this fight to the ground. That's where she excels. But she's got to get inside. And you've got a fighter who is 7 inches taller than you, probably has the reach to match. That's going to make for a very difficult time for Oshima. I saw a tweet from her saying, I know people are worried about this difference, but it was my decision. I made the choice. So, salute to Oshima. And at the same time, salute to Salt. She's only has 5 fights and has done a lot with those 5 fights so far. So, I'm not a big fan of this matchup, but it's happening, and I'm certainly not going to miss it. So there you have it. The 2 ladies' bouts that are going to go down at RIZIN 43 on June 24th in Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. Kumagai versus Kuriyama, and Oshima versus Salt. Let me know your thoughts on the bouts in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to Wmma Scene Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.